I love when tech companies add features that no one else is doing, and that feature just hits home. And that is what makes this dock so good. Today, we are looking at the BENQ Creatus DP 1310 USB docking station. And what makes this dock so special is this green button right here. But we will get to that in a little bit. Just for disclaimer, BENQ did send this out to me, but I have full control over this video, and these are my thoughts only. So let's get into it. Ports on the dock include HDMI 2.1 in as well as out, an HDMI 2.0 and a DisplayPort 1.2 out, gigabit Ethernet, a 10 gigabit USB with 7.5 watts of charging, and two USB-A 480 megabit ports for your keyboard and mouse. On the front, you will find a 3.5 audio jack, as well as a 10 gig USB-C port and two 10 gig USB-A ports. In the box, you do get a high quality USB-C cable to connect from the dock to your computer. As well, you will receive an HDMI 2.1 cable that is capable of up to 8K 60 frames per second. Now, this dock can output out to 3 monitors at once, but being a USB-C dock and not Thunderbolt, the throughput is limited to 4K 60 frames per second, and that is the maximum this dock can handle. Charging is plentiful on this dock. There is a 100 watts charging for the main host computer, a 36 watt USB-C on the front for a phone or tablet, and the remaining 3 USB-As are all 7.5 watts each. Good for headphones, watches, and any peripherals that you may need to charge on your desk. Alright. Let's talk about the green button. This green button on the front of the dock is what makes this dock so different from all of the other docking stations I've had on my desk. Currently, I am plugged into my MacBook Pro, but if I tap this green button, my display is swapped over to my Xbox Series S without having to touch anything on my monitor or cables at all. No digging through my monitor settings to swap inputs, just simply press the button and whatever is plugged into the HDMI in on the back of the dock, whether it be a console or a gaming computer, it is automatically swapped to that input. And when we're done, we press the green button again and we're right back to the MacBook. This is also very helpful if you only have a single input on the back of your monitor. Some older model monitors will only have a single HDMI in, and the DP1310 would allow you to plug in multiple inputs. Now, to clarify, this dock supports 8K 60 frames per second or 4K 120 frames per second through the HDMI 2.1 port on the back. When connecting your laptop through the USB-C, 4K 60 is the max. And like I mentioned, that is just due to the fact that this is a USB-C hub and not a Thunderbolt. But for me, this honestly solves the biggest problem I have. I have downsized to a single landscape monitor, and having to swap between sources is something of a pain depending on the monitor. Mine did not come with a remote, and therefore this dock and quick switch is a perfect answer to my problem. Now, being a USB-C docking station, speed could be of concern. But in my testing, I did not notice any bit of a slowdown. The 10 gig ports were more than enough to have all of my peripherals and my hard drives connected, and I could still work without any faults. Honestly, I only really have 2 changes that I would make to this dock. First is the lack of USB ports on the back, specifically USB-A ports. I have plenty of peripherals, including headphones, hard drives, and anything else I may be testing. So to make this work, I did manage to hook up a powered USB hub and plug that directly into the dock through the one USB-A port on the back, and it's working well. And for the hard drives, I have them plugged into the front of the dock when I need to use them. It doesn't look the best, but it gets the job done. For the second change, I would like to see an additional SD card slot on the front of the dock. Maybe I'm a little biased with how I use this, but I do use SD cards quite a bit to transfer footage and other things. So having that on the front would be a great addition. Overall, I really enjoyed this dock. And if you use your desk for work and for gaming, this is the perfect dock to bring those together and it works exceptionally well. Thanks to BENQ for sending this out. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in the next upload.